Thailand, known as the Golden Land, has an exotic luster. This small but vibrant and traditionally Buddhist country radiates its warmth in the heart of Southeast Asia, bordered by Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar, formerly Burma. Each year, thousands of tourists visit Thailand to explore its unique culture, taste its exotic cuisine, and enjoy its warm climate. But Thailand does not shine like gold for everyone. Approximately 63 million people live in Thailand, but several hundred thousand ethnic minorities can't claim Thai citizenship. These people, concentrated in the northern region, are collectively known as the Hilltribe people. While the king has done much to help the Hilltribes, they are not always made to feel welcome by their neighbors. These people can't speak the national language and are viewed by most Thai nationals as second-class citizens. There are 6 major tribes or ethnic minority groups that comprise what is collectively known as the Hilltribes. Hilltribes have inhabited the borderlands of Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and China for centuries, providing for themselves through subsistence farming and livestock raising. However, it wasn't until this past century that many of the groups began migrating to northern Thailand to escape ethnic cleansing in Myanmar. Life on the borderlands has difficulties of its own. Land loss due to deforestation and the Thai government's recent forest preservation movement have made subsistence farming both impossible and illegal for many of the Hilltribe people. With limited choices, many move to the city with the hope of finding work and the dream of a better life. But with little education and no knowledge of the Thai language, most Hilltribe city dwellers find urban life terribly difficult. To survive, many Hilltribe people have no choice but to sell trinkets and souvenirs on the streets. To compete in a densely crowded marketplace, many have learned that it's more advantageous to put their own children to work. Tourists and wealthy locals have trouble saying no to child vendors, so despite dangerous conditions, parents often put even their youngest children to work. Too often, tribal children living in the cities can be found selling flowers and crafts at night in tourist hotspots. These late hours often prevent these children from being able to attend school the next morning, adding one more barrier to the education they so desperately need, so the cycle of poverty continues. Poverty, limited education, and a general hopelessness have opened the door to other problems like drug abuse and domestic violence. Meanwhile, Thailand's infamous professional sex trade has left Hilltribe women and children vulnerable to human trafficking, prostitution, and HIV/AIDS.
Each person or each family have to, think about going out and selling handicrafts or products for tourists, and then whatever way on dealing with tourists that can get money, they do. And that's why some of them then become prostitutes. In addition to that, human trafficking issue, that these people, when they get into town, then they become victims.
นี่หนูไม่รู้จะอะไรตอนนี้มาถึงมาใหม่ด้วยแล้วก็รู้ทราบว่าใครตัวนี้เอามีดตัดแล้วก็ขายนี่ขายยังไงพี่ทำเขา แล้วก็เขาบอกว่าไม่ใช่ปานกับผู้ชายผู้อย่างนี้แต่หนูยังไม่โตใหญ่แล้วก็เพราะฉะนั้นเขาไม่ให้ไปผู้อย่างเงี้ย
So no matter you are boys or girls from the village, then you may be sold to be a prostitute or to be a cheap labor in town or even to other countries out of Thailand as well.
ငါကူကတော့ငါပြီးရဲ့ကာဟာကိုကြားတယ်လေငါပြီးရဲ့ကာကိုပူဟာကိုကြားငါကာတိချမအောင်ငါရောက်ပူကတော့ဟာဗနာလေဦးစဖို့စုကလေးငါကြားဖက်ဆလာတူရတော့လို့ဗနာ
It's here, in the darkness pervading the plight of the Hilltribe people, that God has chosen to shine His light through the life and work of an unlikely source. American missionary Kim Brown, a shy, quiet, single Midwestern woman with a nursing degree.
When I prayed about my call, it was like, okay, Lord, I'm praying now because I know what the answer is going to be. You're going to send me to a poor area in America. And I argued a lot when I heard the answer was to go someplace else. When I applied to be a missionary, they asked me if I felt called to a certain country. And I said, no, but I'm very interested in Southeast Asia. And I'm sure it was because I grew up during the Vietnam War. And so I had heard a lot about Southeast Asia. And they said, well, we have an invitation for a nurse in Thailand. How about Thailand? And so I quickly looked up on the map where Thailand was and started finding out more about Thailand.
When I first heard that my sister was going to Thailand, and you may forgive me for thinking this, but I just laughed. To be concerned about the poor, to want to help people in need, that made total sense to me. But to think that she would go to a country when she's never been outside of North America, the food that she would have to eat when she only liked cabbage and potatoes.
Picky eater,
very picky eater. I was just like, yeah, right.
I remember crying on the plane. I think I cried because I was leaving everything I knew, all my friends, all my family, and I was going to a very new place that I knew nothing about, and it was a little frightening. I remember I left from my parents' house, they were living in California at the time, and flew from San Francisco to Seattle and got terribly lost in the Seattle airport. Couldn't figure out, and I thought, oh no, if I'm in my own country where I can read and the language and I can't find my way around, what am I going to do when I get to Thailand? And I must admit, the mission board wasn't very helpful. I called up and said, will somebody meet me at the airport? And they said, well, we sent a telegram. That was before email. We sent a telegram. We assume they'll be there. And I said, well, what happens if nobody's there? I don't know where to go, what to do. I wasn't for sure what was going to happen when I got there. And I was leaving everything I knew. I was on Alaskan Airlines from San Francisco to Seattle, and when they served my meal, they had a Bible verse on the tray. And it was a verse from, I forget which psalm, but it talked about the greatness of God. And I thought, okay, God's with me. I may be afraid, but He knows what's going to happen.
7 years later, the spark ignited in Kim spread when God provided the means for Kim and an ethnic minority co-worker to take care of one woman and her infant who were both HIV positive.
An emergency home in Bangkok called this other organization and said, we have a woman and her child, they're both HIV positive, and they want to come back to the north to die. We're bringing them to you. And they arrived at our office the next day. And at the same time, that very same day, we got a $200 check from a church in Ohio. And we thought, okay, we've been praying for a long time. This must be God's answer. He's calling us to do something about it, and He'll give us the resources.
The House of Love was born. Now in its 17th year, the House of Love has been a refuge to about 100 displaced women and children, most of whom have been affected by HIV/AIDS, and many of whom had been trafficked to brothels. It's not just physical and medical needs that the ministry focuses on. Kim and her staff also work to meet emotional and spiritual needs of each child. The House of Love is a home, and more importantly, it is a family.
I try to stay connected through going there every day, watching, which one seems to need something on that day, and then try to give some special attention at that point.
จำได้แม่ก็มาที่บ้านความรักก็มาเจอพี่คิมแล้วก็แม่ก็ไม่สบาย
When Da was asking why her mother died without telling her who her father was, I was able to take her out for a special meal alone and just talk about why her mother was not able to tell her who her father was. And you are forced to sleep with 7 or 9 men a night, you don't know. And so I'm able to spend alone time when they need it with each of them.
รู้สึกว่าพี่คิมก็เหมือนแม่คนหนึ่งของหนูแล้วก็พี่คิมก็คอยช่วยเหลือหนูแล้วก็ให้ความห่วงใยแล้วก็หนูก็รักพี่คิมเหมือนแม่ค่ะ
As with any family, there are problems. While most children have been affected by AIDS, many children deal with the emotional scars from events surrounding their life at home or on the streets, or feeling unloved because their family can't care for them.
พ่อก็ไปเอาแฟนใหม่แล้วก็ไม่ค่อยดูแลหนูเท่าไหร่หนูก็เลยได้มาอยู่บ้านนี้ค่ะแต่แม่เขาไม่เอาเขาก็เลยแบบคืนนั้นไปงานศพพอดีเขาก็เลยแบบซื้ออาหารมาให้แม่อย่างเงี้ยค่ะแล้วแม่ก็รับไว้แล้วก็ตอนกลางคืนเขาก็แบบนอนกับแม่แล้วแม่บอกให้เขากลับไปบ้านแล้วเขาก็ไม่ยอมกลับแล้วแม่ก็ทะเลาะกับเขาแล้วเขาก็โมโหก็เลยลากแม่ออกมาจากห้องเสร็จแล้วก็แบบเอากระสอบข้าวสารหนีบเอวแม่ไว้แล้วแม่พยายามจะออกแต่ออกไม่ได้แล้วแม่แบบจะหาอะไรแบบมาตีเขาเนี่ยแล้วก็เดินหนูเปิดไฟแล้วก็แบบจะเปิดไฟอย่างเงี้ยแล้วแบบไฟมันช็อตแบบหนูกลัวไฟพอดีไงแล้วเขาแบบ
It's hard to imagine how Kim and her staff, made up entirely of ethnic minorities, can persist in the midst of so much death and despair. But their efforts are supported by a God who loves and who has given them a special call of their own.
It's hard for me, like after some people die, or at that time, sometimes we have like volunteer who work at House of Love. Sometimes they came and asked me, you seem like you are okay. You don't sad. You never feel sad with the children because that boy just passed away. It seems like you feel nothing. So it's like it's hurt me from their question because I'm also sad, but how should I do because I have to take care a lot of children. If I do nothing, if I keep crying and I do nothing, how about the other children? We sad about the people who pass away, but we have to keep doing what we have to do.
In addition to the satisfaction of living out their own personal callings, the staff at the House of Love is often blessed to see the fruits of their labor as children who were once in need have now become empowered with the education and skills necessary to prosper as adults and ultimately give back to their own people. Ajay, who came to the House of Love as a young child, has recently graduated from high school and was accepted to one of the best architecture schools in Thailand.
ถ้าไม่มีบ้านแห่งความรักผมเชื่อผมอาจจะอยู่ในคุกแล้วก็ได้
หนูอยากเป็นครูสอนเด็กอนุบาลนะคะก็จะได้ไปสอนเด็กที่บนดอย
Meanwhile, as the House of Love grew, Kim and her staff became aware of other needs that God wanted them to meet among the Hilltribe people. 2 other branches of the ministry have grown out from the House of Love. The House of Blessing, located in Chiang Mai, provides free daycare and education for Hilltribe children that are too young to attend public school. This frees the parents to find day jobs so their children don't need to sell flowers in the night markets. There are currently over 60 children enrolled at the House of Blessing daycare. The organization has also spread its reach outside of Chiang Mai to the Mae Hon Son province located in northwest Thailand and started the Christian Center for the Development of People with Disabilities, or CDPD. CDPD provides services, assistance, and God's love to disabled children and their families from over 50 remote Hilltribe villages. Because of their animistic traditions, many Hilltribe villagers believe people with disabilities are cursed by evil spirits and should be avoided. Families are often pressured to hide the disabled away from normal village life. Meanwhile, many remote villages lack the resources and knowledge to care for the disabled. CDPD staff members regularly travel to these villages to educate family members on the natural causes of disabilities and how to care for those in need. CDPD also provides special equipment and supplies to help improve the lives of the disabled and their families.
We start with the community-based rehabilitation program. It means we have to work in the village with the family. We're sharing gospel with them, especially with children with disability. And every time when we teaching them, we also teach them about the Bible and Christian song, and we try to teach them how to praying too.
It's clear that God has called Kim and her staff to fight poverty and disease in northern Thailand. It is clear that He is bearing mighty fruit through their ministry. They do not fight alone. They rely on the support of generous donors and prayer warriors from all over the world. You too can be a partner with them in serving Jesus Christ by considering His words. When you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. In these economic times, there is much to consider when it comes to finances. We ask you to consider how God might lead you to give to this important part of His work. Regardless of your financial decision, Kim and her team need your prayers to further their ministry and strengthen them in God's love.
ที่ตัวเองอยากจะบอกให้กับทุกๆคนนะคะเด็กๆบ้านแห่งความรักก็ต้องการการดูแลรักษาแล้วก็ต้องการความรักแล้วก็ต้องการให้พี่น้องทุกคนเนี่ยมีส่วนในการที่จะให้การหนุนใจให้กำลังใจแล้วก็ในการที่จะช่วยเหลือแล้วก็สิ่งสำคัญก็คือคำอธิษฐานแล้วก็สำคัญที่สุดก็คือความรักที่เรามีความรักของพระเจ้าที่จะมอบให้เขานั้นเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุด